YouTube's favorite nerd and manlet, Jeff Nippard, being caught in 4K being assaulted by Mike Van Wyck. It's gonna go crazy in bold letters when it drops. Coach Greg, in today's video, something very disturbing happened in the fitness industry. Jeff Nippard was attacked and assaulted and put into hospital after making a video. A video where Mike, and no, it's not Mike Isertel, Mike Van Wyck, was talking about how nerds, the guys who talk about the science, that they haven't made the gains that they're expecting. And so Mike essentially called out Jeff Nippard. Said, why is this guy not making any progress? If he knew what he was talking about, why isn't he getting so much better? Why doesn't he have an IFBB Pro card? Why is he being stagnant in his gains? And so I don't care what the person said or what kind of beef you have with somebody. You don't go and assault that person just because you don't agree with something. Jeff Nippard had every right to record the video that he made upon watching Mike Van Wyck call him out. Jeff Nippard made a very level-headed response. He didn't call him a name. He didn't make fun of him. He didn't do anything. He simply said, this is what I've done. These are my accomplishments. This is why I am what I am. And this is why I believe what I believe in. I personally love the message. Love this video. I even wrote a comment on his wall. Great answer. Happy to see he actually addressed this. Good guy Greg coming out to defend Mr. Nipples. At the end of the day, Greg backs whoever is right, whether he is friends or not. And so many of you think I have a beef with Jeff Nippard, Mike Isertel, and so on. But if they do something right, if they say something right, I don't care about the way I feel about that person. I defend the person, I tell you what I think, I tell you what I believe. And in this case, Mike was dead wrong. And I'm not even talking about assaulting Jeff. He was dead wrong in making that post. Jeff literally set Canadian bench press records in powerlifting and was a national champion in bodybuilding. And last I checked, and I have still defended him to this day, Jeff is 100% natural. And so when he doesn't make gains, is it in fact because he doesn't know how to train, because he's a science-based trainer, or is it because bro isn't blasting hella gear? Mike Van Wyck, who stands over 6 feet tall and formerly was over 300 pounds as an IFBB Pro professional bodybuilder, certainly hasn't been natural. And so why do you think he's made all those gains? Do you think he just knows so much more about training than Jeff Nippard? Or do you think it might be because he took more steroids than last time? And so last I checked, Jeff Nippard, he's still a manlet. He's what, 5'5", 180 pounds? And in comparison, Mike Van Wyck, he's way bigger than this guy. Over 6 feet tall and much bigger. And so, in my opinion, it's not even a fair fight. And so, I'm gonna read a message from Jeff, who's talking about the incident, saying exactly what happened. And remember, this is Jeff's side of the story. Perhaps Mike has a different side of the story. We don't know how this altercation, in fact, started. We don't know exactly why he did this. Did he simply watch this and go up to him and punch him in the throat? We don't know exactly what happened. And so let's first by looking at what Jeff said. Hear what Mike did to me. And so the response, what did he do? I saw your IG reel. And so clearly this relates to Mike Van Wyck and his reels. Mike's been calling out Jeff Nippard. Remember, I've done a video on this in the past. I literally talked about this. And of course, I've always defended Jeff. Didn't deserve any of this. And so here's Jeff Nippard's response. He throat punched me twice at the gym. Consider this, it happened in the gym with multiple witnesses, and I'm told someone actually video recorded this. And so wait till the video evidence comes out. And remember, we don't know what will happen. Will there be charges laid? Will they need the video evidence for court? Will it be released? But we know there are multiple witnesses to this, and so it did in fact happen. Tried to kill me. I'm at the hospital now. Sounds pretty serious. Throat punch twice. If you get punched in the face, could perhaps break your wrist and so on. But if you get punched in the throat, depending on where, it's very serious and very damaging. I am okay, but we're checking for internal damage. He hit me with the cap locks on, H-A-R-D, harder than freaking last time. He hit me hard, holy Turk. And of course the response, what? Like, is this real life? Is this a movie? And so most of you thought if a Mike was going to punch someone, it was going to be certainly Mike Israetel punching Coach Greg.
Greg Doucette, who is a two-faced lying sociopath sucker. Print that. Man, it'd be cool to like fight a dog with just your hands and kill it. Like all I feel is rage.
And so no one would have thought it would have been Mike Van Wyck attacking YouTube's favorite nerd, Jeff Nippard. And so in order to confirm all of this, to make sure that this actually went down as it was described, I contacted other people who were at the gym. WTF, that stands for What the Cookbook. You know about it. And remember, I'm not referring to how she was gregging my Doucette last night before GTA 6, but referring to Jeff Nippard being punched in the throat 2 times by Mike Van Wyck. Mike assaulted him, bro, and there is in fact a video. And so imagining how damning the evidence is when it's literally caught in 4K. YouTube's favorite nerd and manlet, Jeff Nippard, being caught in 4K being assaulted by Mike Van Wyck. It's gonna go crazy in bold letters when it drops. And so you all thought that Nikocado Avocado was 2 steps ahead.
2 steps ahead.
Perhaps Alex Eubank finally admitting to taking testosterone was going to be the stories of the year. And so just when you think there's no more for 2024, Jeff Nippard gets put into the hospital after getting throat punched in the face. And so let's examine this video. Did Jeff Nippard actually deserve it? Did he really say something this aggressive that would piss off Mike Van Wyck to this extent?
Why is it that you remain so mediocre, yet you know so much?
And so he literally is saying you're mediocre. That means mid. Mike's a smart guy, and so he uses the word mediocre instead of mid. And so in case you know what mediocre means, it just means mid. Why is your physique mid? If Jeff Nippard's physique is mid, that means that 99+% of the population have shitty or below average physiques. Jeff Nippard's literally a national champion bodybuilder, has set a Canadian record in the bench press. And so imagine the pressure. Why do you think Alex Eubank is on steroids? If Jeff Nippard has a mid physique after training for 15 years, and being a national champion in both bench pressing as well as bodybuilding, then what chance does the rest of the world have? Jeff Nippard has an amazing physique. He's not mid, he's elite.
No, I don't need to respond to this, but since he asked.
So Jeffy didn't need to respond to this. I'm actually surprised that he did, but I love it. I would respond to this in a heartbeat. This is what I live for. When people call me out, for example, when Togi says, Greg goddamn Doucette.
If I woke up in the morning one day looking like Greg goddamn Doucette
and claims he makes more money than me, I clap back. I speak the facts and the truth, and this is what Jeff Nippard did. And so if Coach Kyle calls me a PDF file, or Mike O'Hearn calls me a hobbit who looks 60 years old.
What's the little guy, the hobbit's name? Ray.
Then I'm going to make a response. This is how the YouTube world works.
I set the Canadian record on the bench press, and I set a provincial record on the squat. I currently weigh 180 pounds at 5 foot 5 inches tall.
Confirm manlet.
If the people with the best physiques had the most knowledge, why would C-Bum need a coach? He has the best physique on the planet. Who could possibly know more than him? Well, it's pretty obvious that bodybuilding success comes from great genetics and really hard training. We trusted big guys' advice over scientific studies. That doesn't bother me. I listen to what big guys have to say too.
And so he quite literally could have dropped the mic at the end of this video and been like, bro, come at me. And so he did come at him, but over what? Over this? This is what you call a beef? I've been making fun of Mike Israetel for what, 25 videos straight, talking about how he lost because of a tan? And this is gonna piss off Mike Van Wyck so much that he has to throat punch Jeff Nippard, put him into the hospital? Really? Guys, if Jeff Nippard makes a video about you and you have what, 130,000 followers on YouTube, perhaps 300,000 on Instagram, and Jeff Nippard has 2 million followers on Instagram and perhaps 5 or 6 million on YouTube, it's going to get more people to your channel. Many people love Mike Van Wyck. Why? Because he doesn't talk like Jeff Nippard. They don't see eye to eye. Y'all thought Coach Greg and Jeff Nippard beefed. I am all about the science as well. I listen to the science and I tell you, hey, I can apply this here, but I also know you need to train harder than last time. And so why can't it be both? And I'm certain to this point that Jeff understands that. I've been calling Jeff Nippard out for not training harder than last time for years. I've been saying he leaves too many reps in reserve and he doesn't really push himself. And what did he do this year? Well, finally, he's decided to push himself. 1/3 of his reps, he does in fact go to failure and or beyond. And so he is in fact now training hard. He's pushing his body to see how much muscle he can put on. Now, granted, Jeff Nippard doesn't understand that if he added in GO2 Max and Turk Builder, he would put on so much more muscle. I've asked him to try it. I've said, hey, give it a try. Make a video on it if it doesn't work. I double dog dare you because I know that this stuff works and that if Jeff were to try it, especially if he tried 3 pills of Turk Builder a day, I don't even know if he could handle it. Y'all are thinking, oh, you have a money back guarantee because it doesn't work. No, I have a money back guarantee because I know it works so well that you're not going to need to get your money back. Does that make sense? Put your thinking caps on. And so if you're interested in Turkesterone, GO2 Max, creatine, all this stuff, head to my website, code Greg, 15% off. And so head to Jeff Nippard's Instagram site. You'll find Macro Factor. Purchase more Macro Factor than last time. Forget My Fitness Pal. Head over and get Macro Factor. And so let me know in the comments section. Do you agree with anything that Mike Van Vick has done? Did Jeff Nippard deserve it? Also, do you think that this should happen to Coach Greg? If Mike Israetel were to say run into Coach Greg somewhere, and he were to punch Coach Greg in the throat twice, put me into a hospital, would I deserve it?
Like all I feel is rage.
After all, I did make fun of the fact that he thinks he lost because of his TAM and not his body fat percentage being too high. But hey, do I deserve it? Let me know. Can't wait to read the responses. This is absolutely ridiculous that happened. Hopefully Jeff Nippard is healing well, and that if the video shows that this is an assault that was uninstigated by Jeff, perhaps Jeff hit him first, I don't know, that he gets the punishment that he deserves. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm, like the video if you in fact like it. Don't forget to watch one of those 2 books, and of course, coaching plans by me and my team, the cookbooks, the training books, Circle Diet Book. You can get all this stuff as well as the Harder Than Last Time clothing line. Don't forget to get that. Code Greg, 15% off. And until next time, I am out.